Hey guys, welcome back to Indulge with Dimples. Today I'm going to be featuring my mother making lasagna. So it's getting close to Christmas. We are done with the Thanksgiving turkey, the dressing, and you want something different. A lot of people will show you how to make lasagna and they doing all this extra stuff. I'm telling you today we're gonna make lasagna. It's gonna be good, it's gonna be easy, it's gonna be cheesy, it's gonna be creamy, it's gonna be everything that's gonna add some pounds on you. So if you're ready to make easy lasagna that tastes great, the bomb, and your family wants to be the one that asks you to make it, you need to follow me in the kitchen. Today we're gonna be making a good hearty meal for Christmas dinner. So come on, follow me in the kitchen and let's get to it. Alright, so we're going to make easy lasagna today. What's going to be different about this lasagna and your grandma's lasagna is we are not baking or we're not boiling any noodles. So what you're going to need is some oven ready noodles that you can buy name brand or the store brand. You're going to need 3 cans of your favorite sauce. We have the Ford cheese and we have the garlic and herb and the meat. You're going to need some cottage cheese. You can use ricotta cheese if you like, but you don't have to. And you're going to need what type of meat. We're using ground beef. You can use turkey or whatever meat. You're going to need some onions and bell pepper. You're going to need some Italian seasoning right there. And also you're going to need a little bit of tomato paste. And I like the name brand Ro-Tel diced tomatoes you're going to need as well, and you're going to need some Parmesan cheese. You're going to need the 4 packs of cheese that you like. We have Italian cheese, we have mild, and we have sharp today. And we're going to go ahead and do a voiceover of cooking this. This doesn't take long, so let's get to it and let's have a nice meal. Hey guys, y'all know this is a learning video, so right now we're going to drop in 3 to 4 tablespoons of olive oil. This is extra virgin olive oil in a deep pan or pot that you have, and make sure it's on medium high because you're going to get the best quality. Now you want to add a cupful of diced bell pepper, chopped any color, and you want to add a cupful of diced onions. I have a white onion right here. I think it's better, it's strong, so it's really good to add in with this feature. So once you drop in these onions and bell pepper, just stir them around with the olive oil. Make sure that you are going to let these bell peppers and onions cook so they can be translucent, and they're going to bring out this aroma that is going to bring a nice taste to your lasagna sauce meat. So just stir it up, make sure it's on medium high, and that's pretty much what you're going to do for your first step of adding in your fresh vegetables. Now next, you see beside me I have about 3 pounds of ground beef. You can use whatever meat that you choose to cook in your lasagna. Ground beef in this particular lasagna is really good, and a lot of people don't really know is ground beef after we put it in the pan. So make sure you get a good grain of ground beef. So when you add your ground beef into your bell peppers and onions, you want to make sure you break it up or grind it up in your hand as you see in the video. You don't want to dump chunks in there because you want to make sure when you cook the 3 items together that you get a nice quality and quantity, so it's not big chunks of meat in there and it's all the same small bite-sized pieces what we're looking for, not meatball size but very small pieces. So you're just going to add your meat into this, crumble it up, and then you're going to stir it up in your onions and bell peppers. You're going to let that cook and get brown. Make sure that your ground beef is done. Your bell peppers and onions is going to be translucent, so if you have family members who do not like bell peppers and onions, guess what? They're not going to even know they're in there because they have been cooked down very, very good. Now it's going to be about a good 15 minutes and everything is going to cook and get brown. You just want to put a lid on it and let it sit and simmer and cook. And again, this is a learning video. I was teaching my mom how to cook lasagna, and she gets the gist of it, but sometimes she forgets some of the ingredients, but it's okay. I'm here to teach her. She's here to learn, just like everybody else is watching my videos. This is cooking lessons. This is not for the experts. It's for people that want to learn how to cook and be good cooks for whoever in the home. All right. Now it's been a good 15 minutes and everything has cooked. Now we're going to add all of our seasonings in here. So it's been approved. Right now we're going to add our Italian seasoning. And all the seasonings that we're putting in here is for taste. So I'm not going to give you an actual measurement, but for us, we did by taste and smell. And I would like to do the same. That's how you learn how to cook. So Italian seasoning goes in here. Sazon, the red bottle. They do have a green bottle, but you want the red bottle in this one. You want to make sure you use garlic powder. And the seasoning that you're using, they have salt in them already, so you don't have to go and add like salt in them. And if you've been cooking with me, you know garlic powder is my favorite. Garlic period is my favorite. So just stir this up. Make sure that the meat is coated. You get a good aroma. If you feel like you need to add a little bit more, you can. At this point, you can taste. A good cook always tastes their food as they're adding seasonings. So if you want, go ahead and do that as well. Now we're going to get into making the sauce. So you're going to make sure you have your 3 cans of pasta sauce open, whatever sauce you like, and your tomato paste. We're going to actually go ahead and add in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And the 3 cans of pasta sauce that I'm using is cheese, meat, and garlic. You can use whatever variety of pasta sauce that you like. If you're making a big portion that we're making, you want to have 3 to 4 cans. 3 cans has always been the best for us because we don't want it too thick and we don't want it runny. So just make sure you stir all this in there. And then we're also going to add 1 full can of Ro-Tel sauce, and which is tomato and green onions. That's the one I like to use. And here we're just going to add them 3 cans of sauce in that I talked about earlier, and just stir it around and let it get a nice aroma, smell to it. Let the flavors cook and marinate together. You want it to simmer about for 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes of simmering, after you take the top off, we're going to go in and add our final ingredients to make this lasagna meat sauce. Now, some people like to use ricotta cheese, and some people like to use cottage cheese. So in the next step that you're going to see, I was taught how to use cottage cheese. Cottage cheese, it just gives it a creamy consistency. It doesn't change the color of the tomato sauce. And I think cottage cheese is more like, you actually see the chunks of cottage cheese when you're making it. I mean, the Ro-Tel, no, not cottage cheese, but the ricotta cheese, you see it. But the cottage cheese, you don't see it in here. And all you have to do is add it, and it actually melts, and it gives it a nice creamy consistency in the sauce. So you want to add 1 container of the cottage cheese, and you want the big one. And also you want to add a 1/4 cup of Parmesan topping cheese, like the sprinkle cheese you use for like spaghetti or anything. Just go ahead and sprinkle or measure you out about a 1/4 cup of that. And you're going to mix this all together. You're going to let it simmer on the oven. And after it simmers on the oven, everything should be good and ready to go. And again, you just want to taste as you go along, adding your seasonings because you might need to add some more. It's best to add a little than a lot if you're not a real good person on measuring out. I can't really give you measurements to the seasonings because, again, this is all by smell and taste. So you have to start using your smell and taste if you want to learn how to cook. But the best and important tip that I can give you, use powder form seasonings instead of salt, because if you use everything with salt and you're seasoning your food, it will get salty and you cannot take it back. But if you use powder form, they do not add salt into the seasoning. So you can always taste and make sure it tastes like garlic or onion or whatever seasoning you want. And then at the end, you can sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper, which will enhance the flavors and it won't be too salty. So as you see, I stirred it up, putting the lid on it, and we're going to let it simmer, let everything marinate, get a good flavor and taste. So hopefully y'all follow them ingredients and rules. So at this point, I'm going to take some Italian seasoning, and I'm going to add it with the 3 packs of cheese. I did half of the pack of cheese in this little container, and we're going to add some Italian seasoning, and we're going to add some Parmesan cheese seasoning on top, and I'm just going to mix it around. Okay, once I get done mixing that around, I'm going to show y'all the sauce that's been simmering. And all I'm going to do is get a nice 2 spoonfuls and make sure you do a light covering at the bottom of your pan that you're going to use to bake your lasagna in. You don't need a full coat, you just need a nice little coat at the bottom so that the lasagna noodles do not get stuck to the bottom of the pan, and it will be making the noodles underneath soft. Now you want to make sure you want to pre-measure out your noodles to make sure that they fit into your pan. So I'm going to layer the noodles in the pan. I have already pre-measured them out and they are easy and breakable. Just take your time. Now let me put this on there. Hold on. Alright guys, so when you come to the end of making your lasagna, which we have 3 layers, you want to add this seasoning on top. So just sprinkle a nice generous amount. And we have some extra cheese in the refrigerator. So this is Kobe Jack. And all I'm going to do is layer the Kobe Jack on there. As you've been seeing, it takes 6 slices of the Kobe Jack cheese to layer on top. And then she's going to finish it off with the regular cheese. And we're going to put it in the oven on 350. Depending on how fast your oven cooks, you're going to put it on 350. And you're going to let it cook for about 45 to 35 minutes. It just depends. You want to make sure it's like a nice golden brown. Only thing that we're cooking at this point is the noodles. So we just have to let the noodles get a little soft and tender. You can find out when they're soft and tender by just sticking a fork in it. And then once it's done, you want to take it out, let it sit and cool. And then I will show you the finished finale when we get done baking it. So she's just going to finish it off, putting that nice cheese on top and making it beautiful. And I'm going to set it in the oven. And this is pretty heavy, so let's put it in the oven. Alright guys, so this is the smaller one that I was showing y'all how to do. The bigger one was a voiceover, and I was just showing you a nice little picture of it. But look, it is nice and cheesy. So this point I took it out because the other one, we like ours a little crunchy at the top, but I'm going to let you know it is delicious and gooey inside. So this is what it looks like. Yes, get into it, love it. It's too hot to be cutting in, but I want to let you know it smells like home. So let me show you the other one real quick. Don't mind what I'm about to show you. So we like ours like this in our house because y'all hear that? Crunch, that's goodness. But look, when you cut into it, Look at what you're getting. Look at what you're getting. All that cheese spilling out. So you know the corners are the best. So we like ours a little crunchy. But yeah, that is the lasagna. We're going to close it up. Close it up. And I will see y'all next Sunday. Let's hear it go back over here. I will see y'all next Sunday. And hopefully you like, you share, subscribe, and you start being part of the notification. And if you have something that you would like to cook but you're uneasy about, just shoot me an email, a message at the bottom, and I will get back to you. And guess what? We can do it together. Alright, till next Sunday. Peace, bye. Toodles.